Organizations often look at conflict in terms of what it costs them in litigation or in terms of risk management, when in reality there are all sorts of hidden costs to conflict that add up to astronomical amounts when conflict is not dealt with early enough. So today we're going to talk about what those costs are and what you can do about it. Back when I was about 16 years old, I had a job in a local grocery store. I worked in the deli, slicing up ham and bologna for all of the local customers. And when I was in that position, I started noticing what were really some unethical behaviors. And they were all fairly small transgressions, such as people stealing small items or, for instance, taking something to eat over their lunch break and not paying for the item. And at that point in time, I remember having a conversation with my dad about how I thought those behaviors were linked to the way people were being treated within the organization. The management style was quite difficult and fairly controlling, and I felt that because people didn't feel respected, they felt more authorized to engage in these unethical behaviors than they would if they were treated better. And I'm not saying by this that it makes those behaviors okay, but even when I was 16, I could see the link between people not feeling respected and people not being respectful in the choices that they made in their roles. And my dad vehemently disagreed with me. Little did I know that that insight at 16 was going to end up being related to the career path that I'm now on several decades later. Because the reality is that there are so many hidden costs to tension and conflict within an organization that extend well beyond litigation costs. Litigation is the absolute end of the continuum when nothing else has worked to resolve conflict. Some of the other costs include things as simple as lost productivity. There's a study that shows that on average, employees spend 3 hours per week managing conflict. So if you look at a team of 10 individuals within an organization who, let's say, are just making an average salary of $50,000 a year, we're looking at a cost just for those 10 people of $36,000 in lost productivity. So if you look at that on a scale of a bigger organization, the numbers are absolutely astronomical. And then when you add to that the way that people choose to take days off when they are just completely frustrated with poor communication in an organization, those days of absenteeism add up. There's a cost to that to the organization in lost productivity. There are also the situations where it gets so toxic that people end up on a burnout, and that has a huge cost to the organization over a lengthy period oftentimes that does sometimes end in litigation. But even when it does not, there's a huge, huge cost to the organization. And then there's all of the opportunity costs, all of the things that are not being advanced the way they otherwise could be if there was better communication within the organization. So deadlines that are being missed, or perhaps you can't grow your organization at the rate you would like to because of the communication problems, or you can't get products to market as quickly as you could if there was better communication within the organization. So this is really all a part of the spectrum of conflict. Conflict is not just about the situation at the end where people are so upset with one another that they are going to court over the situation. The biggest thing that you can do as a leader to help save time and money related to conflict is to address issues early on. Address them openly, directly, empathetically. Address them in a way that will have people listen, that will rally people behind a leadership team with a desire, people who are going to want to be motivated and engaged to work together. This is what happens when we communicate in ways that address challenges rather than letting them build up over time and end up costing the organization a ton of money. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. If you need any further support helping your team communicate in ways that is going to increase performance and save you time, money, and sanity, by all means, please feel free to send me a message. I'd love to chat.